Alright guys, so before we start, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Yeah, I don't usually do that, but I'm just gonna start doing that. I don't know guys, I'm so nervous to tell this story because I know so many of you guys are gonna be like, holy fuck, like you're so down bad, like what is wrong with you? But let me just start by saying I know that this is like, I did this basically, because where was my brain the whole time? Like, where's my brain? Let me just also say that I've been weaning off my Effexor. Okay, I was on 70 times 3 is. I'm not the best at math, but you guys already knew that. Whatever 75 times 3 was, that is the amount of Effexor that I was on. So I decided to wean down by 75 milligrams at a time, and apparently you're like only supposed to wean down by like 10 at a time. So I've been going through like crazy withdrawals from my meds, one of them being deja vu, like crazy deja vu, which I didn't even know was a thing, which is like also like a part of psychosis. So I guess you could say I'm like kind of psychosis. Nice. In a psychosis right now. I don't know. But okay, another one being that I am very, very moody, depressed, vulnerable. I would say anxious, but I haven't really been anxious, which is like really good for me. Yeah, I'm gonna move back. Just okay. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I'm so nervous. Okay, so I already know the comments are gonna be brutal, but you know what? Who would I be? Like, would I even be me if I didn't like trauma dump or like embarrass myself on the internet? That's literally like my whole thing.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
So I'm gonna start with this guy added me on Snap, and like I added him back or whatever. I don't even know why. I actually don't even know why. So this guy added me on Snap, and he like started snapping me, but like being rude. Like he was just rude. Like that's what I remember. Like I don't remember like our first conversations ever. I just know that I thought he was really rude, and I wanted to block him so bad. We got into like a little argument here and there. Like we didn't know each other or anything. Like literally just like headbutted or whatever the fuck, because I just thought some of the stuff he posted was so just really dumb. So yeah, then I don't know how, but I ended up like giving him my number. We started texting, then we started FaceTiming, and we were FaceTiming like every day for like anywhere between like an hour to like, there was literally a time when we FaceTime for 4 hours. Sometimes like, you know, like he would call me in the morning and then like call me at night, you know, whatever. And like he told me he was a Sag, okay? He told me he was a Sag. And this is what intrigued me, because you know what? Like I love Sagittariuses. Like I've never talked to a Sag man.
Come on now, dog.
Also, we kind of had like similar personalities. And like I was like, oh my god, like this is like me in like male form. And you'll find out at the end why it was totally inaccurate. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, like this is like literally me in male form. Like, oh my god, like he's just like me. Like he would even say like, oh, you're just like me. Like, and then the original plan, like I was like gonna be his friend or whatever. You know what? I was down to be friends. But then the way he talks, and apparently he talks like this with everyone. Like this is just like how he talks. But he just like was so, just the way he talks turned me on. And he has like a bit of an accent. And like the things he calls me, like he would call me like baby girl, like mamas, but apparently he calls everybody that. So like yeah, he was like wheeling me in, like reeling me in, whatever. Like I was like catching feelings, whatever. And then I was like, oh, like I want to be with you, da da da. My dad's texting me right now about dinner. Like, please sir, I am busy. Let me text him back and tell them I'm busy. Alright, so we started talking, we started FaceTiming. It was just like on a friendly level at first, but like he was saying all that, and like I was like, oh, he's flirting with me, but I don't think he was. So anyways, I hate myself so much for this. Like I'm just like I'm like cringing to myself right now, so don't mind me. Anyways, I'm usually not this nervous for a video. Okay. So anyways, he's calling me mama, he's calling me baby girl, this, you know, like we're getting to know each other. Like he's super consistent. Like he would text me good morning, good night, like call me every day. And I was like, I'm not used to this. Like, you know, like it's been a while since someone's been consistent with me. Also, it's been a while since I've like, you know, clicked with somebody. Like My problem for me personally is like I meet a lot of guys, like I talk to a lot of guys, but it's so rare for me to like actually like a guy's personality, if that makes sense. Like no one ever has the same opinions, the same interest type thing. Like, you know, like I just feel like we were on the same level, like in some ways mentally, and I kind of fucked with it. And like, you know, he liked horror movies. I fucking love horror movies. And like the last guy that I entertained didn't like horror movies, and I just thought that was super weird because what do you mean? And like he was down to like, you know, like do some little horror movie videos or whatever with me for my OF, and I just spat on my bed. Yeah, so I was like, oh my god, like, you know, like I fuck with this guy, like you da 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 da. And like, you know, so fast forward, we ended up getting to like an argument or something because I thought, oh fuck. See, this is why I wish I had like screenshots of everything, but to go through all of those conversations is like a mission. So let me just try to remember. I'm gonna just go with saying something like, oh, like I thought we were talking, like I wanted to be with him like in the future type thing, like, you know, like, cause bro, we were looking at places to live together. Like he's like, oh, I want to move to Las Vegas. We were looking at cribs in Las Vegas. And I know like we were only talking for a little bit, but like me personally, when I start talking to someone, I'm like, oh my god, like I'm in love, I'm obsessed. Like I was low-key like in love and obsessed. Not like in love, like not real love, but like you know what I mean? Like I was really feeling this man. So he like makes a comment or something, I don't even know, but he like ended up saying some shit like, oh, like you thought we were like actually like gonna be together. He's like, you know, like we could do that, but me personally, like I'm young, like I want two girlfriends. And I'm like, what? Like I'm like, okay, like I'm not with that, like that's not me. Like I'm a one person only type person. When I'm fucking with somebody, I don't want to share you. I don't share when it comes to my significant other. And then like we ended up getting into like a fight or something. I ended up like, okay, so he put me on the Discord, like he like helped me make my Discord, set up all the roles, the rooms, whatever. And I ended up deleting the whole freaking Discord that had like 400 people. I remade it, by the way. I'll put the link in the bio, or like the link right here or something. So he helped me. I deleted the whole Discord because I was just so mad. Like I unfollowed him on everything. I'm like, fuck this shit. Like da 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 da. Wait, hold on, because the timeline is what I'm getting fucked up here. So I know at one point, I don't know if this was before or after our first argument, he was called me and he was on the phone. Like he called me he FaceTimed me, and there was like a girl in the background, okay? Like I could hear a girl talking in the background. And like we weren't nothing, like okay, so this had to be before. So we were nothing, like we were just talking as friends, whatever. He was flirting with me, like we're talking about linking up, da 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 da. I hear a girl in the background, like literally like this girl like sitting on his bed, laying on it, I don't know. And like he's telling her to shut up, to stop being mad, like, oh, why are you being mad, like why are you being salty, da da da, like if you don't want to be here, leave, whatever. So okay, I'm getting really fucking pissed off right now because why is this girl blowing up my phone so much? Like I'm actually getting annoyed. Like you weren't texting me the whole day. Anyways, so after like the argument we had or whatever, like he ended up telling me like, yeah, like I have a girlfriend, like we've been together for the past 3 years, da 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 da. I was like, he's like, that girl like you heard in the background, like that's my girlfriend, da da da. He's like, but I want to leave her, like she's annoying as fuck, like she doesn't leave me alone, she's obsessed with me. And I'm like sitting here like, and I said this too, I was like, just cut her off, like block her, cut her off. Like it's not that hard to cut somebody off. The only reason somebody would still be in your life is because you're allowing them to be in your life. He's like, oh, she just shows up here, like da 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 da. I'm like, okay, like, well, then we started looking at places in Saga because I want to move to Saga, and we were looking at condos. I was willing to go I was willing to go 50-50 on a condo with this man.
Huh?
Let him have the second room to do his little Discord streaming. Like a freaking dum-dum. Anyways, so, so like we're looking at condos together in Saga. Like, we're like share, like, what's that called, like screen sharing or whatever on FaceTime. We're looking at all these condos. I'm sending him each one that I like, that like I think we could move into, whatever. And no, DMX, stop. Mommy's talking. We're looking at condos, whatever. And then why I go on his like little Discord chat thing, and I see he said like in his like server that he's packing to move or getting ready to move because he moves next week or like in a couple days or something. And I messaged him and I was like, you're moving, question mark, like what? He's like, yeah, like just into a different building, like my landlord's fucked, da da da. I'm like, and you didn't think to tell me this? Like, I'm sitting here looking at condos for us and you're moving, but you didn't want to tell me that. He was like, oh, like it's not that big of a deal, like it's not even gonna be like a year lease, like I'm just leaving for now, like we can still move, da 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 da. I'm like, okay. So he moves into his new place, and holy fuck, DMX, shut up!
Shut the fuck up.
Mind you, this whole time we're talking, it actually was not a long time they were talking, whatever the fuck, I don't even know what it was. He keeps saying like, oh, I'm gonna get a car soon, I'm gonna get a car next week, I'm gonna get a car like in a couple days, da da da. And like, oh, before he moved out too, see, I'm getting all the timelines, like, you know, before he moved out too, I had planned to go, was it before he moved out? Yeah, it was before. I had plans to go to his crib. Like, he was like, oh, like, you can come over this weekend. Like, I'll take, like, no, he didn't say you take me out, actually. I'm capping. He said, we can go to, like, Niagara Falls. We can, like, play arcades. Like, we can, like, go to the falls. Like, we can do a bunch of stuff downtown. Like, or is it downtown Niagara where all this shit is? Anyways, because, like, we'll have fun. Like, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm down. Like, I texted my girls like, hey, like, can you bring me to Niagara Falls? She was like, yeah, like, I'll get my man, whatever, we can like, I'll like go, and then like I'll leave you for the day and you can like go hang out with him. And I was like, okay, perfect. And he was like, oh, you can sleep over, like all this shit. Oh, he said something about how his girlfriend is gonna be there, or he said a girl. Okay, so the girl that he said was at the crib, he said that was just like, at first he said that was just like a random girl, whatever. And then the girl that he said he was going to be hanging out with, he was like, oh, it's not nothing, like, we're just going to be chilling. And then he was like, but you can still come, like, after we made all these plans. And I was like, no, like, because this man really wanted me to be in, like, a throuple so bad. I'm like, no, like, why would I come hang out with you and you're going to be with a girl? Like, we made this, like, we were supposed to go see Little Mermaid together. Like, I really wanted to see it. He was like, yeah, like, we can go. This man all of a sudden says, oh, I'm gonna be hanging out with a girl this weekend, but you can still come. Why would I want to still come? Why would I want to do that? So he ends up like saying something like, oh, he's not gonna be hanging out with the girl on Saturday and he's just gonna be doing shrooms on Friday, so he's gonna be high on Saturday too. And it was like, you can still come. And I was like, no, like, we had plans to do stuff. Why am I still gonna come to watch you be high on shroom? Make it make sense. So the weekend comes around and like, I'm super pissed. Actually, I think this might have been why we fought. I think I unfollowed him and everything for this. But I'm like super pissed because you made me hit up my girl. My girl changed around her whole plans to go from one city to and planned it out in Niagara. She like literally was already on her way back from Toronto to spend the night like here in the city so that she could drive me the next day when I needed it. And I had to hit her up and I was like, hey, like, never mind. She's like, I'm literally on the highway right now, like, should I turn around or are you gonna change your mind? And I was like, I'm not changing my mind, like, I don't want anything to do with this guy, like, da da da. So I don't even know what happened, but he even FaceTimed me on the Saturday and like he was out doing things and everything. So I'm like, we couldn't chill because what again? I'm like, make it make sense. And then hold on guys, let me think, because this is like also, there's so many like things that happened throughout this. I made my Discord back or whatever. Yeah, that happened. I go on Discord and like he's in his little Discord. Yes, I'm calling it a little Discord. He's in his little Discord talking. He replied to some girl. Some girl was like, oh, like, I sent you like some messages in some pictures or something in your messages, And he was like, oh, thanks, baby girl, like I really enjoyed them, they made my morning. And I like messaged him and a screenshot of him, and I was like, are you good, like what is this? He's like, oh, like there's a whole backstory behind that, like she was talking to one of the guys in the Discord and she's just trying to get back at him, something. I'm like, okay, that's obviously not true now, but nice. So I was like, oh, okay. So then after that, like I ended up I don't know if it was after this or like I don't know, at some point I did go search through his social media, find who his girlfriend was. I creeped her on Twitter where she had a profile picture of him, of her like on top of him on a bed. And I even asked him about it and I was like, why does she still have you as her profile picture? He's like, oh, I don't know, like like I don't get what the problem is or something like that. And I was like, okay, like whatever. So like after that, okay, creeped on Facebook, whatever. This girl has no pictures anywhere, like, and the pictures she did have are like old as hell, so I don't even know what was up with that. But I ended up like finding like her best friend or whatever, and then like her mom, like a bunch of people or whatever, to try to find like some updated picture of her, but she doesn't have anything. I know it's not the girl's fault, like, you know, I'm not here to bash her, this is literally about him, whatever. Anyway, so I ended up finding her, like I found that picture, like I like messaged him or whatever, and then like he was like, oh, it's like not a big deal, whatever. In the back of my head, like I'm knowing, even like I know they're still together, I know this man's lying to me. So I started flirting with his friends on Discord, because like he brought them into my server and like gave them roles and shit. So like I started flirting with them, like, okay, like you want to play this game, I'll play it too. Then he's not like answering me or like FaceTime me, or he's not sending me good morning messages, FaceTime me, nothing. Like he's not texting me or anything. I noticed. And then like they were on like the VC in the Discord. If you guys have Discord, you know what that is. I don't know, they're like all like on cam or whatever. He's on cam. Why is he walking his dog and I'm noticing he's talking to somebody, like there's somebody with him? And then when he goes back to his crib, there's somebody with him. And I'm like, oh, like who are you with? He was like, if you're gonna be flirting with my boys, like you have no right to ask me who I'm with, like da 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 da, like I told you, you can do you, like I'll do me, whatever. I'm like obviously, like I'm gonna flirt with your boys if, like, I'm not dumb, like you're definitely with your girlfriend still. He's like, it's funny because I wasn't even with her, I was with a different bitch. I'm like, okay, like, you know, I kind of got over that too, like a freaking butthole. The red flags, the red flags were pink for me, I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't know what was going on, but I'm just gonna blame the withdrawals. So yeah, we had that like conversation. I was like, oh, like did you smash her? He was like, yeah, like what, da da da. We were arguing. He was like, they know their place, like they know they get taken care of, da 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 da. I'm like, taken care of how? And I'm like, what do you mean they know their place? They're like, oh, like they don't go and flirt with my boys, da da da. Like, first of all, don't ever tell me I have like a place, or I should know my place, because ew. Anyway, so fast forward, we finally make plans to chill. So I ended up traveling all the way to Niagara Falls from my city, which is 2 hours and something, even maybe. So I go there. I was like, I hadn't slept because I don't even know what happened. I think I didn't take my sleep medication or something, or I fell asleep like really late because I was on Discord. Okay, yeah, that actually was probably it. So I was like super tired. It was like thunderstorming, like raining all day. It was supposed to rain all week. Like we made plans for me to go over there and watch like horror movies with him. I was gonna bring Chucky, you know. He was gonna we were gonna watch that one movie with Pinhead. I've never seen it, but like he said that was his favorite, so I was like, okay, like let's watch it. So I go over there like in the morning or whatever, and oh wait, the day before, it was like 2 something, right? And I had like a ride available for me to go at like 2:30 or 2:45 or something, and he was trying to rush me and he was getting mad. He was like, oh, like get ready right now, like catch that. I'm like, bro, like do you know how long it'll take me to get ready? Like I'm not gonna be able to catch that. And then I was like, I can like, you know, take the ride after it, like in a few hours. And he was like, no, like there's no point, like da da da. And like he was getting all salty, and I was like, okay, whatever. And like I was like, okay, well, like I can take a ride tomorrow morning or whatever. So like I ended up doing that. And yeah, we were supposed to watch scary movies. So I finally got there, pulled up to his crib, literally in the most random place I've ever seen. Like I even asked him, like when I got there, I'm like, are we in the ghetto?
What do you mean by that?
He was waiting outside the door. Like I don't know, it was so awkward. I'm just gonna say that. Like when I went inside, like it was so awkward. Like mostly because I was nervous to meet him because I liked him so much, like a dummy. So like I didn't really know what to say. Like, you know, his Wi-Fi, he didn't have Wi-Fi. He was gonna hotspot his phone onto his TV, and then he couldn't, and then he did it on his like broken streaming computer or whatever. So we ended up going in that room trying to watch a movie. It wasn't working there either. He didn't have Wi-Fi yet. Why did we go in that room? And I'm looking over and there's a laundry basket full of women's clothes. So I looked at it and I was like, what's that? And he was like, oh, like that's my sister's, like da, da, da. I'm like, you randomly have your sister's clothes, thongs and all? He was like, yeah, like she stays here, like she stays with me sometimes, da, 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 da. Like, okay, I don't remember you even mentioning his sister, but okay. And then he opens his closet to show me his clothes. There's girls' shoes and boots everywhere. And he was like, oh yeah, no, that's like literally my sister's. And I was like, it's always their sisters. It's always their sister stuff. It's not, ever. Anyways, then I had to go pee. So I go to his washroom, and yes, I'm creeping around because who doesn't do that? Go to his washroom, I'm seeing multiple toothbrushes. There's girls' body soap and shit in the shower. I open the cabinet like mirror thing. Why is there a spa headband? And I went out to him and I was like, what's all this shit? And he was like, oh, that? I actually don't even know. He's like, I don't even know how that got there. Mind you, okay, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm knowing this man is lying, but I'm eating that shit up for real. I'm just like, oh, like, you know, I have trust issues. Like, maybe he's not lying, whatever. Anyways, it was before all this that I decided to do the do with him. So we start kissing on the couch. Like he's like, oh, come here, like, 'cause I was being super awkward. He was like, you look so tense. Like I was nervous. I really liked this man for some reason. Blaming the meds again. So he's like, come here, like come closer, like we're cuddling or whatever. I don't know, on his little couch. Oh yeah, so I've already seen his no square, like over FaceTime and stuff. I already knew it was little.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I already knew he was not circumcised, which I absolutely don't really like, and I thought he was. I think it's gross, and like, you know, I was kind of nervous to like do anything with him, not gonna lie. And I thought he was gonna stink, but yeah, anyway, so we start making out or whatever. Bro, I was just really feeling it. I don't even know, like something took over me and I was like, oh, like can we go to your bed? Like we went to his bed, we're making out. Like it's just like really like, see, I'm not gonna cap here and say that I wasn't enjoying myself and that anything was not good, because it was all pretty good. And before I even went, my friends had been telling me, don't go see him, don't sleep with him, don't go see him. Like you're already like going through so many arguments with this man. You're already like, he's already made you cry like 3 times. Like don't go, like, because as soon as you with that man, you're gonna be effed up, and you know that. And I was like, no, like I'm not gonna go. Like, oh, like no, I won't. Like, you know, like I just want to make like OF content, whatever. I should have listened to them. I don't usually listen to my friends because, well, some of them, because I just don't. I ended up going anyways. So anyways, we're on the bed or whatever, making out. He's like kissing on my neck or whatever. Like he's like sucking on it, like trying to make like hickeys or whatever. And I was like, oh my god, like. He ended up like putting his hand by my no square and like rubbing that thing that girls have on their no squares. And I can't even lie, while we were kissing, I was getting so, you know, I was really into it. So like he does his little thing down there and like with his hand, and he made me have a happy ending, and then like which felt honestly amazing. Like he was just yeah, it was good. Then I like, you know, went to his no square with my, not my hand, my other thing, my and yeah, and it didn't stink, and it was, you know, so yeah. And then we did the do, and I didn't have high expectations because he had a little gummy worm, which I even told him. Like I told him you was small, like I called him my little gummy worm. So we did that, and I wasn't expecting, you know, it to be anything really. I was just, you know, but it was really, really nice, okay? And here's where I effed up for like the 10th time in this story. I let him do it raw. Because I thought we were talking. I thought he wasn't talking to anybody else. He had told me, like, before I went, he had told me, like, oh, he hasn't seen his girlfriend in a while. Like, they don't even talk. Like, they're not together, whatever, whatever. And I ate that shit up. So I let him do it. And before we did it, I said, when's the last time you got tested? I said, did you use a condom with the last person you did the deed with? And he said, oh, like, no, like, I mean, he's like, oh, like, we did use a condom, like, we used a condom, da da da. I'm like, okay. He was like, I got tested before that, even, like, I'm good, don't worry. I let him, and me too. So that was, you know, yeah. And then we just like spent the day just like chilling and like cuddling, like going on his little Discord where all his little Discord friends were like dissing the F out of me, whatever. Okay. Anyways, oh yeah, they were taking screenshots and stuff too, like whatever, whatever. So I go home, we're still like messaging each other, whatever. Then like, I don't know, like after, okay, so I go in the Discord the next day and I'm seeing like them talking about me. Like they're like, oh, like you're down bad, like why would you do that, like da 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 da, like do you know, like you gotta, this is funny, I just remembered this. One of the little boys, the little Discord boys or whatever, was like, oh, like you don't know who that bitch is, like you gotta go get tested now, like go get tested. It was some dude from Toronto, because Toronto men are just the most hateful, but whatever, big ego, whatever. So he was like, oh yeah, make sure you get that girl tested, like you don't know where that girl's been with everybody, da 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 da, like do you even know who she is, da da da. Like these men are going like, oh ew, like you're down bad, you're so gross for that, like why would you touch her, like da da da, whatever. I'm like, he's in the chat, like he's not being rude about it, but like he was talking about it, and it's just like, why do you even need to be talking about me? I didn't even want to be on the Discord in the first place. I was hiding behind the computer screen, and then I was like, oh F it, like whatever, you know, how bad can it be? I just messaged him and I was like, why are y'all talking about me? And he was like, oh, like don't even worry, you know how they are, da da da. They're trying to put me in homie court, whatever the hell that is. They like do this court session where they charge each other, and I'm not even gonna lie, I was a part of one, and they're really like funny and actually really entertaining, so I'm not even just gonna start talking shit here. And it's not even all the guys in the Discord that were like, you know, that I hate, not hate, that I dislike, you know. There's some of them are kind of cool, whatever, funny. Yeah, so anyways, and then a couple days go by. Why am I itchy? Why am I experiencing weird discharge?
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
So I start texting my friends. I'm like, guys, like this is going on. This is not normal. I have not, they know. People around me know I have not slept with nobody. It could have only been him. I used protection when I did with the other person and still got tested. I was in the clear. So I ended up calling my friend and I was like, hey, like, you know, like something's going on. I need to go to the clinic. And she was like, oh, like, I'm actually going right now because, like, I'm sick or whatever. And I was like, yeah, like, let's go, come get me. So she came and got me, went there. I'm thinking it chlamydia, because that's like the most common one, you know, and that's what I've gotten before in the past, like way past. So I was like, can you give me the meds for it? Like, they gave me the meds for it. I spent the whole day being sick as hell because those like pills make you sick. For anyone who's ever taken them, they make you sick, okay? So after that, like, treatment or whatever, it's getting worse. Nothing's clearing up. I'm like, okay, like, this is weird. So, like, it took a bit for, like, me to get my results. But I had every symptom of trichomoniasis or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. To a T. I was texting all my friends and I was like, hey, like, I have this. They're like, oh, how do you know? And I was like, I know I have every symptom to a T. Like, I know it's it. Mind you, I'm still waiting for the results or whatever. They took like a week to return the results or whatever, but I ended up like talking. I messaged him and I was like, hey, like, are you sure, like, you used protection when you slept with the last person? He was like, yeah. Oh wait, no, hold on. He said, no, I didn't. I was like, you told me that you did. And he was like, oh, like, I thought, you know, I was joking. In what universe is that something to joke about? I'm like, no, like, you told me that you use protection. I'm like, what do you mean you were joking? Like, da da da. Like, he was like, oh, like, my bad. Like, da da da. He didn't even apologize, nothing. He had no remorse at all. You know, I was just like, what the hell? Like, what is even going on? The screenshots of it are on my spam account, which I will put in the description because I film my phone, obviously I can't. So anyways, we argue with that or whatever, and then I go to Discord and I post the screenshots and I tag everyone and I was like, this is y'all, like, this is who you guys are looking up to, this is your people, like, whatever. And why were some of the guys like, oh, like, she gave you something, like, no, sweetie, the other way around. And then, like, you know, the people in my Discord were like, oh, like, yo, like, what the fuck, like, oh my god, da da da. So then we end up going into like a VC, like the group chat thing where like the camera's on, whatever. My camera was not on because no. And like, we're going back and forth. Why is this man still not saying sorry? Not only is he not saying sorry, he's yelling. He's saying, oh, like, this bitch is used to this shit. Like, she's been getting burned her whole life. Like, this is nothing new to her. I literally told him I was just celibate for over a year, that I'm not on that shit no more. Mind you, he doesn't know anything about me. He's never seen my videos, nothing. He's only seen the November interview, which where a lot of people failed to listen to or pay attention to was the part where I had said that I had been no contact with men, that I was celibate. Everyone just sort of skimmed past that part. So we go on the VC or whatever. This man's calling me a stupid bitch, like saying like, oh, and then he like kept like, yeah, okay, we're gonna say his name is Robitussin. He's like, oh yeah, I'm dirty dick Robitussin, dirty dick Robitussin. Like, he sounded proud of that shit even. Like, anyways, he's just yelling at me through the thing. He was like, oh, she's just mad because like I didn't want to be in a relationship, like da 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 da. Like, fuck, let me just sit here and think on what everything he said was, because there was more and it was just like, oh yeah. Oh, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I wasn't saying bad shit to him too, because I definitely was. But I had every right to. I don't give a fuck. Like, I even told him, like, you know, if you would have had remorse, if you would have apologized, if you would have been truthful with me, I would have never ever did this, you know? But you played with me, and now it's my turn, and I love it when it's my turn. So anyway, he's like screaming at me. He's like saying like, oh, like, you broke, like, you couldn't even send me $300. Yeah, this guy asked me if I could send him $175. Actually, it wasn't even $300. so he could flip it. I didn't send you that money because that's actually where I draw the line. What am I sending you bread for? That's where I have to draw the line, because I'm not about to, like, I learned my lesson with sending money to men. I'm not sending you money. Second of all, when I asked my friend like about it, she was like, no, don't even do it, because you're never seeing any of that money again. Because he was like, oh, I'll flip it and then we can like split it or something. Like, hell no. She's like, you're not gonna see that money again. I was like, yeah, like, you're right, you know, like, I'm not gonna do it. So I didn't. And then I was like, cause like he always sits on Discord and he like acts like, you know, like he's the man, like he has all this money in the world, like he's like so cool, whatever. And I was just like bro, like your only friends are your like Discord friends that you haven't even met. And then he goes on about how like, oh, like these are the realest people ever, like da da da, they always have his back. Like, okay, then why didn't you ask them for money? I'm like you, like you, I say like you have all this money, but you couldn't even afford your rent, because he couldn't. Like he was, or I don't even know, but he was saying something like, oh, like, you know, like I need money, like I need money, like I have court fees and shit. Like, what court fees? Like, and it was literally like the day that rent was due too. So I'm like, your rent's only like $1,300. And I even said that, I was like, your rent's only $1,300. You can't even afford your $1,300 rent. He was like, it's actually $1,400. Like, okay. And I know, like, I always say like, oh, like don't like shame people with their money, but like I don't care. I was just saying anything to this man at this point, because I was hurt. I was burning. Like, I'm pissed off. So yes, I'm saying anything. I don't care. When you cross that line with me, it's game over. Whatever. Yeah, he was like, oh, you couldn't even send me $300. You live with your pops. Like, da 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 da. Mind you, okay, I do live with my pops. He's not wrong. But, like, I'm about to move out again. So now what? You know what? Honestly. So anyways, after that, I ended up messaging his girlfriend. And I was like, hey, like, your man's out here giving everyone frick of a choo-choo. Go get tested. That's what I said. I didn't say, like, I didn't cuss her, like, I didn't say anything rude to her and nothing. I literally just said, go get tested. Oh yeah, and then he was enjoying, oh yeah, he was like, oh, make sure when you do your story time, like, that you at me so, like, I can get a bunch of clout from this, like, da 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 da. Like, first of all, this man loves attention more than I do, and that's a real big problem, because you guys know I love attention. I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I hate attention. Like, keep that shit away from me. I love that shit. I love attention. What girl does not love attention? Anyways, so yeah, he was saying like, oh, like tag me. Like, I was like, no, I'm gonna block you. He was like, no. He's like, I'll just comment my at name like a bunch of times so that I can like get clout off of this. Like, so yeah, he was like calling me a stupid bitch. He was like, oh, like everybody gets a turn with this girl. Like, I wonder who's next. Like, nobody, honey, nobody. Like, you should have never even gone a turn with me. If I was like if I was still like on my meds, like wasn't weaning off them, all that shit, like if I was like, you know, you would have never gone a turn with me. Like, you didn't even, so what the fuck makes you think you're fucking, no. Okay. So I ended up blocking him and everything, whatever. I was pissed off. I was angry. I was crying. Like, I literally had to just, I don't even know what I did. Oh, I think I just went to bed, even, to be honest. Oh, I went on live bawling my eyes out because I tried to contact all of my friends and none of them were answering, and I was just having a whole mental breakdown. So I went on live. For those of you who witnessed it. Yes, I went on live to cry. And I don't care. No shame. Whatever. Yeah, I cried. Yeah, because my feelings were hurt. What? And like, even in the Discord, like VC or whatever, these guys are saying like, oh, like she's just, maybe, like, how do you know she even has it? Like, maybe she's just lying to you because she misses you and wants to see you. But what do you mean? Because this man was still talking to me, still FaceTiming me, still offering to come see me. He was like, oh, I was only offering to come see you because you wanted to see me and I just wanted to like delay it or whatever. I'm like, but I never asked you. You literally just said, oh, I'm gonna come see you next week because I'm getting my car. Anyways, fast forward. I went to a little party on the weekend, okay? And I got a little drunk.
Stop the cap.
A lot of drunk. And I texted him after unblocking him. and I said, hey, like, can you FaceTime me? Or like, you know, are you too mad at me? Like, I'm like, you're gonna tell everyone that like I messaged you or whatever. Cause like he was posting on his like Instagram story about me bare, and like it was just like, yeah. Oh, where he also posted him on a date with his girlfriend after I had messaged her saying, your man's burning. They were on a date. Okay, cool. That's a you problem, whatever. Anyways, so I ended up like he FaceTimed me or whatever. Okay, I was honestly gonna leave this part out, but I know this is gonna surface after I post this video, so we're just gonna get it all out there. I FaceTimed him when I was drunk, and I was telling him I miss him, telling him I wanted to see him. You know, like he finally like came clean about everything. He was like, yeah, like I have a girlfriend, we live together, we have bitches together, and I do want 2 girlfriends, da 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 da. He was trying to make me into a throuple again, and I was like, bro, like first of all, even if I was into that, which I'm not, never will be, she's not my type. That's just what it is. That's what I said. I was like, you know, but like I'm still down to like, you know, link up with you and like do stuff with you and like whatever, whatever. And he was like, yeah, like no, for sure. Like I'm getting my car, like da da da. Like I'm just in Montreal right now, like da da da. Who the fuck knows if he was in Montreal? Because he lied about everything. Even when we were on the phone together in the FaceTime call, like he was still lying about everything. Like he was like, oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Yeah, you did. Like it trips me out when people lie, because I don't lie. Like yeah, I might tell like a little lie here and there, but like I'm not a liar. Like, you know, like lying, I keep it real, like I keep it honest. Like everything's so raw with me. Like it's just tripping to me when people do lie so much, because it's like, for what is your reason? Like I'm literally the most understanding person ever. Like really all I ever ask from people is just be honest with me, no matter what it is, just be honest. And I was sitting there, I was like, just tell me everything, like I'm not gonna be mad, just like let me know like really what it was. And he was like, yeah, like we live together, like, you know, like when you weren't there, like she was at her grandparents or something, like, oh, we F girls together, like and she seen your message and she didn't care, and we went to the clinic together. And I was like, okay, like I was drunk, so I'm just like, oh, like okay, like yeah, I miss you, I want to see you, da, 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 like blah, 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 like, but don't tell anyone we talked. And like my friend Lauren just kept like coming in the room, and I was like, oh, like I'm on the phone with my friend, like gotta go, like bye, like I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I'm on the phone with my friend, like I'm on the phone with my friend, like because I knew she was gonna yell at me, because, and she did after I told her all this. So that happened, and then I was still texting him a couple days after that, even too, and I still don't really have his number blocked right now. Even I'm going to definitely block it. Like I'm not going, I don't know, I just need therapy right now. That's all I can say right now. I just really need therapy, because what I'm like, me allowing that is just so out of character for me, even like for who I've become in the past like year or two. Like it's just so out of character. Like I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, so another thing happens. My ex is in my DM. Not like the one that I've done a bunch of story times on, not the one that like I loved, whatever, whatever. The other ex that I don't talk about, because it's really just a whatever situation to me. He was in my DM. Haven't talked to him in like, I want to say 4 to 5 years. Talking about how like, oh, he wants to see me, like whatever, whatever. I thought he was married. I don't even know what's going on with that, but yeah. So he's like, oh, I want to see you. Then like he ends up like, we start messaging on WhatsApp, and he was like, oh, like I want to see you, like I live in right now. I just spat on my bed again, that's fun. Cause like I live in right now, like I'll come get you, and like we can go out for food or something. And I was like, okay, cool. Because yeah, I want to get taken out. Yeah, I need somebody to talk to. I need some sort of rebound, whatever. And no, I was not planning on effing him, just before you get into that. We didn't fall off like super bad. Like it was nothing he did. It was literally, it wasn't all me, but it was literally mostly me. I just wasn't ready to be anything with anyone at that time. I was super young. Like I had just turned 22. Like I was trying to have fun, and I guess I kind of like led him on to like think that I was ready for something I wasn't. Anyways, I did mess around with him a lot. But there was like stuff going on like his side that like, you know, made me like kind of not feel bad about like what I was doing. Anyways, so fast forward, he asked me to like come over and sleep over or something, and I was like, no, like I'm busy, whatever, like because I don't want to go sleep over, like I want to do something, like I'm too cute for that, in my opinion. So he was like, okay, like what are you doing Friday? And I was like, oh, like nothing, like why, what's up? And he was like, oh, like I can come, like, you know, we can go somewhere, we can do whatever you want. I was like, okay, like come. So he comes on Friday. I brought my friend because I thought it was gonna be really awkward, and like, you know, I just wanted to bring my friend because I wanted to see her that night too. So I brought her, and why the first thing he does when we get to the restaurant is say, I have a gift for you, and pull out a honey pack, whatever. If you don't know what a honey pack is, I'm not really gonna explain it because I'm not even quite sure myself. I just know that people drink it to get like horny and shit at the club. That's all I know about it. That's like what I know of people that like do it, that I know of. That's the only use I know of it being for. There's probably others, but yeah, like people just pour it into their bottles at the club and shit. I don't even know. So we go in. He doesn't eat because he already ate, which I'm like, so you were just gonna have me eat by myself? Anyways, he wanted to get drunk, so he had 2 beers. He bought me like 5 drinks, and he kept saying like, oh, and a shot of tequila, and he kept saying chug, like chug it. Like he put some of the honey pack in my drink, put some of the honey pack in my friend's drink, then he had it in his drink. Like he was just being so weird the whole time. Like he wouldn't stop bringing up past stuff that I guess he's still hurt from, which like I kind of understand, I guess. But if you're still stuck on it, why would you even offer to bring me out or anything like that? Why would you even want to be in contact with me? I don't know. He's just like he's like telling all these stories to my friend, and like she's a new friend, okay? She doesn't know past me, so like she's just sitting there like, what, really? And like he's like bringing out pictures of the men that I slept with. He's telling me that he's been going on my YouTube, and he pays attention to like all the story times I tell about like me going on dates, me with men, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I was just like, oh, like why did you randomly hit me up? He was like, oh, like I wanted to for so long, but like, you know, like da da da. And I was like, okay, like whatever. He was just being really weird. He was like, oh, like my friend was like, oh, like did the honey pack hit you? And I was like, no, I feel nothing. And he was like, you're lying, she's lying. And then like he was talking about like past stuff with us, and like just like saying a lot of naughty things that I was just uncomfortable with. Saying that his was hard, and it's always hard and stuff like that. Then he asked me if I wanted to go back to his place to sleep there, and I had to go to the birthday party the next day, which was like 2 hours from me, and that would have brought me to like 1 hour from it. So I was like, yeah, sure, like you know what, like let's do it. But I was never planning on doing anything with him. So we get into the car, we go to the gas station. I'm texting my friend, I'm like, should I tell him now or wait till I get there to like let him know that I'm not about anything? And then she was like, oh, like tell him now, because like it'll be awkward as hell if you go there and then say it to him. And I was like, okay. Like I texted him and I was like, hey, like I have my period, so like I'm not doing anything with you tonight. Did you still want me to come, or like did you just want to bring me home? And he was like, oh, like we can hang out next week, then I'll drive you home. I'm like, okay, so I see your motive now. Then okay, I do this thing when someone's on their phone and I want to see what they're doing on their phone. I will take a video and like zoom in like to what they're doing on their phone, and then so I can like look back at it after. Like I'll read in real time too, but just taking a video just makes it, you know, you never know when you're gonna need those pictures of what they're doing on their phone for evidence for something. So I do it. Why when I get home I read it And this girl messaged him and said, broken up for the weekend, come see me and F me for the first and last time. His reply was, me too, what's your ID? And this was right before he dropped me off, after I had said everything. So he drops me off. It's so awkward the whole way home because he seems mad. Like, he's not talking to me. He's like blasting the music, like, you know, whatever. Okay, like, that's not my problem. Like, okay, like, you thought you were gonna get something and you're not. So he brings me home. I get home or whatever. Like, I'm sending my friends this. Like, I posted it on my spam or whatever because, yeah, that's where all the tea is. And like, they're like, you, like, what the hell? Like, they have no prior conversation either. Me and my girl ended up finding this girl on Facebook and, like, no comment. But it was just so weird. Honestly, I was like, damn. Because, like, you know, I remember him being, like, this nice, sweet guy. I don't even know. Like, oh wait, no, I can't say this. He had something on him. That's all I'm gonna, yeah. So yeah, he dropped me home, and then, like, I ended up just blocking him on everything. Because no, absolutely the fuck not. I just wanted to go have a nice, peaceful food and drink with somebody that I thought gave a about me. I mean, I did enjoy the free food and drinks, but I could have gone without all that. So yeah, because of recent activities, I will be going back to therapy next week. I don't know who I thought I was weaning myself off my meds like that. I don't know what's going on in my brain. And you know what? I already know the comments that are gonna come because I've seen them all in my spam talking about, oh, you need validation, like, you're so lonely, like, you will take anything from any man who comes to you. No, it's really not even that. If you guys, like, no one knows me enough to know why I do what I do, except for, like, my therapist and maybe my best friend. But there's just a whole lot of stuff going on mentally with me right now that it's just, I'm just in a really vulnerable place, and I was just being just plain dumb even. But yeah, feel free to call me what you want, or call me what you want, whatever. Like, it's okay. I basically deserve it because what did I think was, so yeah, that is yet another story of me taking 1,000 L's. I think I'm going to just do the whole no contact. No, I'm lying because I'm even entertaining somebody new now, but slowly and not even, like, on that level. So I think I'm good. I've been blocking men like crazy lately, actually. Even one wrong ick and you're blocked. So yeah, thank you for coming to my story, and wish me luck in my therapy, and hopefully I never, ever, ever put up with this shit again. Ever. Bye, guys. Love you.